Hello everybody and welcome back to the craft room with Tanya. Didn't expect to make another video quite so quickly today, but I got a message from someone that's just new to card making, and she had asked me, oh, I just saw a load of fluff there. She had asked me, had I already made a video on what card supplies I used? And I said, no, I hadn't. So here I am, ever obliging. And I think it's a great idea to have that knowledge, because certainly I didn't know Tombow glues could do what they could do until I read a comment from a lovely lady a few minutes ago. So I can't do them all. I'm just going to do the sort of basics, actually, the very basics, and we'll add to them as we go along with the videos. I think that's the best idea. And I'm going to start with the most important things that I think are the most important things. I'm sure there's going to be something that I've left out. Goodness only knows. There will be something, but these I think are the ones that you can't really afford to do without. And number one has to be your glue. It's so important. You probably all argue with me now and say, well, actually, I think this is most important, or I think that's most important. But, it's just a figure of speech anyway. They're all important. You do need them. But obviously, you're not going to go too far without glue. This was the one that I started out with, and it's Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. And it has a fine nozzle at one end for application, and it has a much wider one at the other. It's a tremendous glue, and I do use it all the time. I buy it off Amazon in bulk, but I'm sure you can get it from craft supplies and other places like that. I'm going to try and see how I put a link in. I haven't done that yet, but I will try to get that organized. But it's craft supplies. If you just type in craft supplies UK, or wherever you're from. I know there's people watch as far afield as the United States and Canada and Australia, which absolutely blows my mind. But it's I'm pretty sure this is a glue that you can get anywhere. I hope it is. Some of my other favourites, I have Nouveau glues. I have a wide one which I use a lot for gilding flakes. Excuse the hands once again. I've been using luster wax again today. Nouveau Deluxe Adhesive Clear Drying Craft Glue. I'm very partial to this one. It doesn't come out like a bullet. Oh, I can't believe that I've got it inside my very fingernails. It's very easy to use. I don't know why, but again, it's personal preference. I think if you're starting out, if you have this one glue, it's more or less all you need. It really is. It really is. I use Zig two-way glue because it's fantastic for sentiments and anything that you need that little bit. It's like a pen. It's really easy to use, and you prime it by pushing the nozzle down, and then you just swipe across. And I must admit, it's another great favorite. I also have a Nouveau Precision pen. Again, you can see a very fine nozzle, a very little squeeze, and away you go. And it's great for those fine, intricate little dies. And this is a tremendous one, because you do need your foam tape. I'm sure we all like a little bit of foam tape. I use Sizzix too. That's STIX, and then the digit 2. This is 10 mil wide by 1 mil thick, and you get 50 meters. It's a jumbo roll, and it is fabulous. And again, it's available from craft supplies in the UK. I'm so sorry to those people that watch further afield. I don't know where you get your supplies from, but it's foam tape, and it's 1 mil thick, and they really are. I also have another little one that's 5 mil, just because I'm too lazy to cut the other one down, but you don't really need it. Now, the other thing I do have, and this is why I was coming to the foam tape. When you're putting your foam tape down and you place it on your card, let me see, do I have a piece of card knocking about here somewhere? There we go. Just been working with black. And you cut this off and you want to position it on your card. It sticks like it's meant to, and it doesn't. It comes off. You can't get it off really easily without ripping your card. So your stick glue, and it doesn't need to be Pritt. It can be any stick glue that you can get your hands on, as cheap as chips. You don't need Pritt. Just rub over, and when you put that on your card, sorry about this, when you put that on your card, it lets you lift it up to reposition. Look, do you see how flexible that is? And you've quite a wee bit of time before that Pritt stick wears and the adhesive takes over and does its magic and joins. So there you go. Put that in the recycling bin. Oh gosh, I have to check. The last thing I have, now I actually have an ATG tape dispenser. I got this from the hubby. He used to have a wee business, a printing business, believe it or not, and he had these knocking about, so it's a bit grubby, but I give it a good going over with my cloth and with the baby wipes, and it works and it does the trick and it's magic. But one of these little things will get you up and running. These were cheapies that I got off Amazon. I think I got 3 for, I can't remember, it was nearly a year ago. I can't remember what I did last week, and it does exactly the same job. There you go, and that's your glues. Now I'll pop those away later, I'll not make a holy racket doing that. You're going to need tape. This is low tack tape. There's one already opened. This is low tack tape. Any low tack tape will do. I do excuse me, personally prefer Sizzix. I have yet to peel this off a die or card or anything that I've been working on. It's never torn anything on me. It's not the cheapest, it's not the broadest, but it is, I think, fantastic. I love the Sizzix washi tape or low tack tape. A paintbrush. I love messing about with my inks. Oh, here, bear with me. I've just stuck the foam tape to the desk. Apologies for that. Put it out of the road. I do love working with paint. I'm no artist, trust me. Actually, I'm really quite poor. I have an involuntary tremor, so I get the shaky hand syndrome. But paintbrushes are handy to have. Now, I had a wee cheap set and I bought a more expensive set off Amazon because they all have this lovely point to them. This is Euro Art. I don't know, I think that says 010, and this is a number 7. It's a watercolour brush with a lovely point, and I have to admit it's my go-to brush. If you're going to invest in a little brush, get one like this that brings you into a point, because you can use it for pretty much anything. Another good brush to have is a thicker one to do washes with, or wider one I should say. I got these all from Amazon. They're all in a wee set, and in here somewhere, is that it? Yeah, there's a little fan brush, and that's fantastic for doing your splatters with. Okay, so it's good to have. It's not essential, and it's not essential to start with. The other thing I do have are my little palette knives. I have a whole range of palette knives in here that I've sort of stolen from the kitchen as well. Oops, that was a bit heavy-handed. Hopefully I haven't broken something there. The other thing to get you started, and I wish somebody had told me this when I was starting off, if I was starting today, I would be using Distress Oxide inks. Now, I'm sure there's a whole load of you out there are going to say, oh no, I wouldn't start with that, but I would. I think they're fantastic. I love them, and they're really the only ink I use. I use one old Stampin' Up ink for my outlines and things if I'm doing any alcohol markers or things like that, and it's grey granite. Otherwise, I use these, and I use a Versaclair for sentiments. So those would be my recommendations. Versafine Clair for your sentiments in whatever colours you want. Predominantly I use black. If I'm stamping things inside a card, I tend to use dyes for the outside, but I have been known to stamp as well. So now this Distress Oxide ink is first class. It is what, when I get my glasses up my nose, water reactive dye and pigment ink fusion that creates an oxidized effect when sprayed with water. Used with stamps, stencils, and direct to surface. Blend using ink blending tools and foam. Now, by ink blending tools, they obviously mean your brushes. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I've got a head cold, courtesy of my gorgeous granddaughter. I do apologise. And I'm just getting over sinus problems, so I've got a bit of a croaky voice. I've been talking too much. So, blending brushes. Are these a must? Well, it's a way of blending your inks on card. They're not an absolute essential, but it doesn't hurt to get a little set. Again, these are all, every one of them. I fine ones here, thicker ones, like little pointed ones, all sorts. And I've bought them all from Amazon. I bought them as a set for a crafting friend and myself. And I bought the multi-pack one, which had, I think, was it 12 in it or something like that? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, there were 12. I got 2 sets. And I got her a set as well. So blending brushes are helpful, but essential. Now with the Distress Oxide ink, what you can do is you can buy like a rainbow, like a spectrum. So you don't have to buy every single shade because there's tons. I have a little folder. This is actually out of date. I need to update this, but I have a little folder. It gives you a brief idea of some of the range of colours. And there's more than this. Since I started this, there's a whole lot more have been changed, renamed, introduced, whatever. But they're fantastic. So what I love about these is if you buy black, and let's say you go for a medium coloured, oh, there's one of my favourites, Uncharted Mariner Blue, or any colour, you can darken them down with your black. I do apologise, very croaky. You can darken them down with your black or lighten them by using less. So you see, they will mix. Look, that's a lovely mush. Not the best colour to have chosen, but it doesn't matter. It's just to show you. So they are water reactive. They can be mixed just like any paint. Really, ideally. Oh, all I can smell in his here is hairspray from this morning. It's making me feel really quite ill. Okay, so if I was starting off, I would get a blue, a red, a yellow, a green, and really it's up to you. If you want me to recommend colours, I will. I can do that in another tutorial or video, whatever you wish. I'm more than happy to do. But it is personal preference. Now, finally, these are my other tools. Right, that's a good one. Scissors. Let me see. What do we absolutely need? Yes. I think that's, the rest of them are tools that I use, but they're not essential. So we'll just start with essentials. If you're folding your cards, you will need what they call a bone. What do they call them? I've forgotten. Is it a bone folder? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. But that's how you get your nice crisp edge on your card. You score them with these. fold it over, and then I'm going to do this roughly. Now, all of crafters will be, all of card making anyway, people will be going, oh no, she didn't. But I'm just to show you, look, that's how you use it, and it gives you that crisp edge. Okay, you obviously should score it first. You should not do that, but it's just to give you an idea of how you use it. So I bought these Crafters Companion ones. They came in a set of 2, and I must admit this one's starting to wear, but it's been used so much. After that, scissors. These are just cheap scissors off Amazon, but they have a nice long blade, and they're fabulous for going up those bits of card maybe that didn't cut properly or whatever. So a pair of long blade scissors, very useful in the craft room for everything. I bought a multi-pack, and these came from Amazon, and there was a yellow, green, red and blue. I have red in the craft room because everybody in the house knows red is for danger. If you take anything out of the craft room, it'll be World War III. So there we go. These are my fine pointed scissors for doing any little intricate bits that I needed to do. Some people call it fussy cutting, whatever you like. It's entirely up to you. But these are Stampin' Up pair, and I've had those from I started. It was one of my early purchases, and they're called Paper Snips Scissors Sharp Edges, and they are fabulous. And I do recommend that you do invest and get yourself a decent pair of sharp pointed, what are they called? Sharp edges and sharp pointed, narrow pointed scissors. These are very narrow, can you see? It's worth the investment in getting something decent, because you do need them for getting in around those wee intricate ties. Well, not so much intricate ties. It's more, I cut my dies to give me dimension when I'm stacking them, but also if you're using just a stamp and you want to cut round it, you're going to need a good pair of scissors like this to do it. And if you use ones that aren't as sharp or don't have that wee narrow point, you're just not going to be able to get in there as tidily as you would like, or as I would like anyway. So that's a great tool. Pair of tweezers, not essential to most people, but they are to me. I have a little tremor, and I find these are fantastic. They're brilliant for your gilding flakes. These are a pair that I have had forever and a day, and they actually stick together. I should invest in a decent set. Another good one are these self-closing ones. These are terrific for embossing. If you're doing a little bit of embossing or anything like that, fabulous. But it's, again, it's up to you. I tend to use these for everything. How hard is it to hold them closed? So I use them. Whoopsie daisy. So sorry if I deafened you there. I use them for everything. And another little tool, that I think is great in the craft room is your pokey tool. It's great for getting those dies off the plates that haven't come away. It's great for poking out all those little, where's my butterfly? All those little tiny bits and pieces. There you go, that you need to. So I think it's an essential tool in the craft room. Again, this is an old Stampin' Up one. I bought this second-hand off eBay. It has a little applicator at that side, and if I'm being frank and honest, I have no idea what it's for. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a spatula, or for putting on maybe dimensional paste or something like that, a bit like what do you call them? Palette knife. There you go. Get there eventually. May take a little longer, but... And then at the other end, I have my Pick Me Up tool, which we use for lifting those wee embellishments and things. And it's a terrific one. But whichever you prefer, you can get any number of pokey tools, I think, off Amazon. The first one I ever bought was this one. I bought my granddaughter a Sizzix one. I bought it by accident, but we'll not go into that. And finally, I think these are an essential tool. You might differ or disagree, but I use these nearly every other card if I'm trying to get a little bit of embossing. Not embossing, what's the word? Dimension to my anything that I've cut. I use these. And if I've run something through an embossing folder and then need to cut it afterwards, I will use these to bring that detail back up. They are a great set of tools. There's quilling tools in here which I've never used, but I use these little jobbies, these 4 little jobbies here all the time, and a little bit of craft foam. I made myself a piece by sticking foam onto a mat, but I tend to use this as much, if not more. And I think, again, I got this reset off Amazon. I keep my scalpel in there, but that's not an essential, I don't think, so we'll not go into that. But I was saying I got that set from Amazon, and I think it was, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was around £8, £9, £10, something like that. So it didn't cost the absolute earth, and for the use I get out of it, I think it's fantastic. Another good, no, I think that's enough. I think that's the basic essentials. You could go on. You could go on for forever and a day. Alcohol markers, maybe a set of, you're going to need your embossing bits and pieces as well. But it's up to you. You use what you need to get you up and running. For me, I think it's important to get quality dyes, because you're going to want them to last for a long time. Get yourself good quality dyes, good quality stamps, and a decent machine for cutting and embossing with. I use Sizzix. This is good old faithful. This is my Sizzix Big Shot, and I actually recently at Christmas bought myself the Big Shot Express, and it has been put to the side for the moment because we fell out on Saturday. We had a little incident, which I told you about in a previous video, but we're not speaking at the moment. I'm huffing with it. I'm not happy, if I'm being honest, with the way it's cutting my dyes. I'm having to run dyes that I cut in this once. I'm having to run through 3 or 4 times in the Express. I don't know why. And I bought a precision plate to see if that helped, and it jammed. So, no, we're not getting on. A Sizzix Big Shot is a big outlay. I would suggest, obviously you can get it direct from Sizzix, you can buy it from Amazon. Keep an eye out on eBay. You can get them from eBay secondhand. Some people, you can pick them up for 30, 40, 50 pounds. It's entirely up to you. But I know other people swear by spellbinders, and you know, there's lots of different makes. Cuttlebug is another one. I swear by my Sizzix. This one, this Big Shot, not a new one, not at the minute anyway. So I swear by it and highly recommend it. For again, you can buy much cheaper ones and they maybe won't last, or you know, you can invest in some really expensive ones like I did at Christmas and it won't work as well for you. It's personal taste. It's what works for you. But the Sizzix Big Shot I've had from day one and I love it. And it's been taken off the poor granddaughter. Sat in her desk. But she's only allowed to use it with supervision anyway. So there we go. That's my starting point. I hope it was helpful. And I'm sure it's not for everybody, this video, but for all of you that are starting out, I hope it's helpful. And if you have any questions, please get in touch and I will do my very, very best to answer them. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.